Hi there, Tiffany. It's Les from Audit Marketing. I hope you're doing very well. Thanks ever so much for requesting this video audit. I know you spoke to my colleague Lindsay, and after looking at your website and obviously looking at the connection that you have with St James, I thought I'd just explain a little bit about why I think SEO could be a powerful tool to move forwards, but also give you some hints and tricks, I suppose, that you could start utilising yourself to even allow that to happen for yourself. I know through networking myself that when I've spoken to financial advisors about the power of Google, they normally find it hard to get their head around the idea of someone using a financial advisor without perhaps going through a referral for it. So I thought I'd do some research to see how many people were looking for keywords related to wealth management and financial advisors in Bristol. And these are just three that I found off the bat. So let me take you through this briefly. Google tells us that there's 320 people, and these are unique visitors looking for a financial advisor every single month. Now, where we would want yourself to be, Tiffany, is in something called the Google 3-pack. It's right here, and we'd really want you to overtake that spot there that Churchill Wealth Management are currently holding. Now, the reason we'd be desperate to have you there, more importantly than anywhere else on Google, is because we know, Google tells us, that about 42% of the people that are looking for a search term like this will be clicking on that first result, which is extraordinary. It means that we'd be expecting Churchill to be getting around about 134 visitors every single month purely for holding that spot. They haven't had to do anything special other than turn up. Now, this part of the table, I think I've been quite conservative, but of course, I'm sure you'll be able to be a little bit more accurate with your own figure and pop that in there. I've said that the average sale for a financial advisor in Bristol is around about £1,000. Now, I don't think this includes the lifetime value of that customer, and I also haven't included any potential referrals that those customers could give you as well. So again, I think we've been fairly conservative there, but I would urge you to put your own number in there just to be as accurate as possible. Now, generally, if a website has been built fairly well, we'd expect around about 1 in 10 people to actually pick up the phone and give someone a call once they've perused their website fully. I can tell you right off the bat, looking at your own website, Tiffany, that conversion would be a lot lower. Generally, we would follow this template here because we know it works. We've seen closer to around about a 13% conversion rate as opposed to a 10% conversion rate just by something that follows this landing page where we're encouraging people to get in contact as soon as possible. We've got the testimonials in a nice place. We've got all the services and signals in a really nice, aesthetically pleasing outset. And that's something that your website isn't following at all. So it's a little bit messy, but I think it could be cleaned up fairly easily. But what this does mean, Tiffany, is once obviously your website is set to convert, all we need to do is have it appearing in the right place, and we'd be expecting then around about an extra £30,000 of new business every single month simply by showing up for these customers that are looking for that every single month. There's quite a few things SEO-wise that I can see that your website really isn't doing at all, and I can just take you through that very briefly now. There's a few things that we look at when we want to see what markers are being left out there on Google for them to decide, is Tiffany going to be the right person to show this customer for this keyword? And that's to see if your page titles actually contain those keywords in. And at the moment, we can see that you've got wealth management there, but that's the only keyword that's technically within your page titles as opposed to wealth management Bristol or IFA Bristol or financial advisor Bristol. So at the moment, you're not going to be getting a look in. In fact, when I actually did some research and looked into the back end of your website, I can see that on Google, these were the terms that you were organically ranking for. And the only thing you're on page 1 for at the moment, Tiffany, is Tiffany Contact, which I don't know how many people are going to be typing that in, but it's probably not even going to be that related to yourself. It's probably more likely going to be related to the jewellers, as opposed to what a new customer would be looking for if they wanted to use a service that you provided. So I hope that makes sense. Another thing that I would certainly urge you to start changing, but of course it's something we could do as well, is changing something called your H1 tags, your heading tags. Again, this is just the titles that are being used within each page. And again, that's something that is very, very crucial for Google to decide, hang on a second, are these keywords matching what your customer's looking for? Again, that's something that we will take care of for you. I mean, it doesn't really matter what industry someone's in, Tiffany. We've helped them get to the top of Google, whether you're a property clearance company in Birmingham. You'd see that in the 3-pack, our client would hold the top spot for that valuable keyword there. If someone was looking for a nursing agency in Paignton, you'd also see that Ocean Healthcare, our client, holds the top spot there. The beauty about this is it doesn't matter if you're a financial advisor, it doesn't matter if you're a mortgage broker, it doesn't matter if you're a solicitor. Google works the same ways, which means that we can use the exact same strategies no matter what the company is to be able to get them to the top of Google in an efficient amount of time. So if you've got any questions in the meantime, of course, don't hesitate to ask me, but I'm sure my colleague Lindsay will be able to give you a call to follow up with any questions that you might have. But in the meantime, I hope that's obviously been helpful for you, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks ever so much for watching, and you take care. All right, bye.